everybody, here's Cookie Lovey. Actually, this is really the first time I do a podcast, a solo podcast. Yeah, the last video I did, I wasn't sure that was a podcast. Yeah, I wasn't sure, and I hope you still remember what I said. The movie that I review. Actually, I did really review that movie. I just watched a video from Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic. It was his last video he did. It was on November and supposed to be for a Halloween special, but he did very late. Yeah, it's about Tusk. Tusk is a horror comedy movie made by Kevin Smith. I did watch so much movies from Kevin Smith, to be honest, and American movies are not really my thing, and I'm more a comic book person, you know. Okay, Marvel movies, it opens my mind more than anything, and all I like are cartoons, comics, and what really interests in my mind. Kevin Smith released the movie Tusk on September 2013, and it was the first time I saw it. Like I said, it was in Nostalgia Critics review. Yeah, it was really interesting to watch. I know I said before, I'm really sensitive on horror movies, but it depends actually. It happens that I watch by curiosity. You know, I'm really curious because I never know if it's good or bad. You know, it's like eat a candy. You never know if it tastes really delicious or it just tastes like shit. I already did a video about Tusk, but unfortunately I deleted it. But the good news, I'm gonna do this podcast right now that you're listening. But if you guys don't like it, it's okay, you don't have to. You can click away and you can watch our better videos. It's no problem. Anyway, back to Tusk. The story starts with two best friends, Wallace Burton and Teddy Croft, host of our popular podcast, The Nazi Party. The first time I saw the review from the Nostalgia Critic, first I have a sympathy for Wallace, but then since I saw a different review from other YouTubers, I found out that Wallace is actually a jerk. He do nothing but mocking other people in his show, and he's so thirsty of attention, he's so entitled, and so childish. And yeah, and unfortunately, Teddy is kinda someone he trying to be a good friend, but he's not, and I understand Teddy. To be a good friend, it's not easy. Especially be friend with a jerk like Wallace. One day Wallace had the idea to fly to Canada to interviewing the person who made the parody of Kill Bill, and they called the Kill Bill Kid. But unfortunately, the Kill Bill Kid began a suicide because he gets bullied because of Wallace, of course. Thank you, Wallace. Thank you very fucking much. You took this poor child dignity, really. Wallace have no mercy for that poor kid. Yeah, he's just disappointed because he flew to Canada for nothing. In other hands, Wallace have the decision to find another person for his interview, for his podcast. I'm 100% sure he go to bullying some more person in his mind. Yeah, the poor person, he's gonna be Wallace Marcus's victim. Luckily for him, he found someone can offering a room in his house for free and also telling interesting stories in his experience. So Wallace go to the old man. His name is Howard. He's a retired sailorman in a wheelchair, and he's gonna tell the story he was saved by a walrus. Wallace have a reaction, a really dick move reaction, that he asked Howard, "You were saved by a walrus?" Yeah, animals can be also heroes, jackass. Howard tells that the company with the walrus was really beautiful. He was so amazed. Wallace drinking the tea that Howard gave it to him, but there's something in the tea, so Wallace fell in sleep. Boom! The muy importantes rule of horror movie, ladies and gentlemen, is never drinking something from strangers. A while that Wallace passed out, he dreamed something of himself and his girlfriend named Ellie and talking together. Until that Wallace woke up finally, but he found himself on the wheelchair, and something is really fishy. You get it? Fishy? Okay, walrus are not fish, are mammals, but you know what I mean. He found that it missing a leg, and Howard tells him it was a spider, but there wasn't a spider after all. What a twist! Speaking of, Howard can actually walk. He faked his handicap the whole time. The time that Wallace freaked out and calling Howard a psychopath, Howard gave a big fat slap across his face. Howard tells to Wallace what he's gonna do with him. His plan is kidnap him and transform him into a walrus by surgery. Meanwhile, Ellie, Wallace's girlfriend, is so upset about how crappy is their relationship. She's being consoled by his best friend Teddy. Actually, Teddy is more nicer than Wallace because he's honest and he really tried to be, like I said, be a good friend, and he's actually a good person, more better than Wallace. Yeah, Wallace is so arrogant and don't give a fuck and want attention, so entitled. And Ellie couldn't understand why she have such a boyfriend like Wallace. I think Ellie deserved better. Teddy could be a perfect boyfriend for Ellie because he consoling her when she's sad, and that's totally perfect for this relationship. Later, Wallace woke up in shock and grabbed his phone to calling help. He called his best friend Teddy, but Teddy saw the call and ignored it completely. Yeah, that's understandable because Teddy is kinda angry at Wallace because he make poor Ellie cry. Well, if someone make one of my brothers, sisters, or my best friend cry, I will also be pissed and ignoring that person. Wallace get hit behind the head. It was Howard who hits him with a giant stick or bone, I don't know. A while that Wallace is passed out, Howard began the surgery for the transformation. Okay, to be honest, I think it's kinda unnatural punishment for Wallace. I mean, how how jerk he is. He got what he deserved. But in same time, I feel sorry for Wallace. I mean, he's I know that every humans are not perfect, but it's not a reason to be a super jerk. I mean, he used his power for the podcast to make people down, and that's really selfish of him. And Howard is also selfish because of his obsession of warriors. It's not normal, really not normal. Anyhow, in the morning, Ellie found out that Wallace was calling and have the feeling that he's in trouble. So Teddy and Ellie fly to Canada and go to a Canadian cop for help. At first, in the Nostalgia Critics review, I thought that he was joking, but it wasn't a joke. In Kevin Smith movie, the second horror movie that he's doing, there was Johnny Depp as a Canadian cop. Johnny Depp! But unfortunately, he wasn't funny at all. The conversation with him, it takes 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 fucking minutes. He wasn't funny until that he say to Teddy and Ellie, "What kind of Americans you are?" That was a good one. Also, the Nostalgia Critic, how he react. He make a joke, quick, make a wish! Okay, back to Howard that he finally make his dream come true. He transformed Wallace into a horse. So creepy. Oh fuck, you guys should see the movie. It's like Tim Burton team up with the guy who makes Saw movies. It's so disturbing. The story that Howard tells in the beginning, he was saved by a voice. His name was Mr. Tusk. Unfortunately, Howard, he was young, he needs food for survival, so he killed his best friend Mr. Tusk and eat it. All the years, poor Howard was so guilty about that he decided to recreate the friendship he had. Yeah, that's the reason that why he's kidnapping people and transform them into warriors. Wallace is actually not Howard's first victim because other people died unfortunately by failing. Howard had the idea to dress himself with his warrior suit and make a fight with Wallace, to resting the case to becoming completely an animal. So after the fight, Howard dies, but he's sacrificed to fulfill his dream. But after Teddy and Ellie and Johnny Depp as cop fight Wallace but in Wallace's form, and poor Ellie flip out, and also Wallace. Everybody flips out. Flippers! 1 year later, Teddy and Ellie go visit Wallace in a kind of zoo. And yeah, Wallace is still a walrus, and that's really funny. Nobody could help him and transfer him back. Yeah, it was really impossible. And the only thing what left on Wallace is his tears. Yeah, and yeah, this is the end. I hope you guys like it. If you don't, you don't have to. Yeah, it was terrible, but funny. Okay, the first time I saw it, I thought it was sad. And I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry for Wallace. I have sympathy for him." But actually, I found out is in real a jerk and he deserved to be punished. Okay, it was really extreme. I'm not sure this movie have a moral, but to be honest, it was fine. Okay, bye bye.